Carolina Congressman Mark Harris, who's also on the House Judiciary Committee. Great to see you this morning. So as you know, the Senate left recess before the ink was dry on their deal. The Senate deal, no funding for ICE or CBP. So take a look at your own feed on X. This is what you posted. You're not happy, calling what the Senate did, quote, garbage. Do you have faith that the Senate will get anything done during this recess?
Well, here's the question. Thank you so much for having me, Carl and Charlotte. It's good to be with you this morning. What happened at the end of last week was inexcusable. Listen, no one knew it was coming. I mean, they went to work, I guess, probably around 10 o'clock that night. I started hearing some rumblings on Thursday night going into Friday morning. And then at 2:30 in the morning, with just a very small handful, I think I was told there were maybe 5 senators on the floor, including the one sitting in the chair. And they voted by unanimous consent to send over and pass a funding bill that totally pulled out ICE and brought it to zero, and Border Patrol to zero. And that is just inexcusable. And I've never seen Speaker Johnson probably more angry and frustrated than he demonstrated on that Friday morning when he went before the press. And it was ridiculous. And so we stayed throughout Friday. Our last votes were supposed to be at 10 o'clock that morning. We stayed throughout the day, and around midnight that night, we were able to pass a bill, send it back to the Senate, that completely funds the Department of Homeland Security up through May 22nd so that we can get a deal done and be able to fund for the rest of the year. We sent something over that they ought to be able to deal with and should have dealt with yesterday. That was another piece of frustration, is they met in pro forma session yesterday. They took no action whatsoever. So it's important for the Senate to do something and act on what we have now passed.
Sir, you know, we've played this game now. This is the second time we've had the longest shutdown in history in just the last few months. I mean, the DHS has been shut down for longer than it's been open this year. At some point, like, someone's got to crack. I know it's hard talking to Democrats, but I'm sure you do talk to some of your Democrat colleagues and say, like, guys, like, are you just going to say no forever? Is that their plan?
Well, it seems to be their plan, doesn't it? I mean, obviously, they don't seem to care that our homeland is vulnerable. They don't seem to care that by defunding CBP that we're going to somehow open the southern border and allow things to continue to happen with an invasion like we saw during the Biden administration. It really comes down to the root of what they believe. They're more concerned about protecting illegal aliens than they are protecting Americans. And that's the message they continue to send over and over again. And it's got to stop. And the American people have got to demand that it stops.
What's your message quickly to those who are still not getting paid? We know TSA is getting paid by that executive order, but Coast Guard, nope. FEMA, nope.
Secret Service, nope. Yep. All of those that are listed as part of. And listen, we were concerned, and that's the reason we passed. Even the part of the department that looks and to protect children that are victims of human trafficking and investigating those, they're not being funded either. And that was one of the points that we made. Listen, this is a critical time here in our country, not only with the conflict going on over in the Middle East that makes us vulnerable to sleeper cells that have come in, but then all of the big events as spring comes and all of these children that are vulnerable through human trafficking. All of these things must be funded, and the Senate has got to take action, and I mean take action now.
I mean, it just seems like they want to do nothing to try to
That's right.
make, Trump look bad. All right, Congressman, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.